let the bass kick.
Bloopers are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
News bloopers are the best.
Especially ones in the rain.
I was thinking about going back through all the video recordings since we started doing video,
Ooh,
and
do
just making
bloopers.
making clips, like do a clip montage of just like random
Mess up.
stuff from the show.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
That should have been in the beginning of the year.
I was thinking about like the random
True.
like clips of
Yeah.
what it would say, you know, like, oh my, like that starts a philosophical rabbit hole. Why do men have nipples? What up? What up? What up?
He hit the button.
Hey, you guys didn't even hear me.
Aw,
There's no buzzer.
Tricky.
It's kind of like that. What's that TV show? Like
We need
on
one of those
shopping.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy's Supermarket like Sweep.
Supermarket
3,
Sweep.
oh,
guys.
2.
The guy's
You know,
grocery wars
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
like, I don't know if you should go yet.
We need to get one of those dope neon on air signs that
Yes.
lights up when I
Hit the
when I
button.
hit it. That'd be dope.
Is it like the Krispy Kreme hot sign?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should get.
That's what we should definitely get.
Talk to the folks at Mapco, see if they can hook us up with one of those Krispy
Hey,
Krispy Kreme display cases we could put right in the corner behind us.
Yep.
Ooh, did we pass by a Krispy Kreme on the way home?
And that's all you got to do for the sponsorship, Krispy Kreme. Just give us some donuts.
Yep.
And
Donuts
We'll
and one of those
display it
little
the
displays.
entire episode. It'll be right behind us. Hey, Marcus, grab me one of those crullers, would you?
You're so cruel, bro.
Well, grab yourself a cruller
The
too.
coolers are good.
Could you just not make me hungry right now?
Yeah, we were spoiled. I thought we were gonna have some chicken adobo
I
tonight.
thought about
We did last time.
Yeah.
it. I'm making some on Wednesday for.
Still the first and only guest to ever bring us dinner.
That's true. Other guests are slacking.
So that makes you number one winning guest of all time. That's
Other
that's
guests
the
just
best.
bring us plastic frisbees things.
right.
I
Got a
don't
hat.
know why.
Oh, well, we got hats one time, yeah.
Yeah, we got hats and we got Scott Stokely brought us a whole box full of stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool.
There.
You ever seen somebody with like a huge like hot top and a scarf?
No. He's wearing a scarf with a t-shirt,
There
ladies
you
and
go.
gentlemen.
There you go.
Hey, this man knows a thing or two about being cool.
Watch out.
Yeah, we're getting to that point where our comfort level with the podcast is such that we're playing little wardrobe games and stuff.
Yeah.
Marcus is
Wardrobes
always
tonight, sponsored by.
Marcus always like, and every time I go back and edit a new episode, I'm always like, it always occurs to me at some point during the editing process, like, dang, Marcus was doing a little thing there, and I just know, this is
Not picked up on
it's
it.
fresh, yeah,
I change my hair every episode.
Yeah, he does.
yep,
He keep it fresh.
totally. I mean, like, when are you gonna run out? Never gonna run out of ideas.
Ever.
Sure.
Never ever. So yeah, what up, everybody? Welcome back to Last Cash. This is episode 22. I'm Will,
I'm still Marcus.
I'm still Jay.
and joining us tonight, Millers. Hey, Jamie and
Hey,
Ruthie
guys.
Miller.
Hey.
Hello.
You all probably know this lovely young lady as Ruthie Toothy from Facebook. This is Ruth Miller, and she has been on the show with us once before. We're hanging out to talk about some new and exciting stuff that you have coming up, and this is her husband. Really, everybody should be thanking Jamie because he is the reason that we have Ruthie running stuff.
That's true.
Ruthie is also, this year in 2021, she is the membership officer of the Music City Disc Golf Board of Directors. So, yeah. Golf snaps.
Golf
snaps.
snaps.
Golf snaps. So, yeah, like I said, lots to talk to Ruthie about. I mentioned on the last episode of the podcast.
Every fucking time.
Let me
My
go
bad on the F-bomb.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the show, we'll just go ahead and throw up the parental advisory. I'll be marking this one explicit when I send it off to the platforms.
Yeah.
But
They'd be the only one who's blame Jay.
yeah, my remark on the last episode was that I was pretty sure that you are now sponsored by everybody, right? Yeah, because let's see. Now we've got Flying Colors, Wicked Aces, and Throw Pink.
Yeah.
Is there any more?
No.
Okay,
No.
okay.
No.
No,
I was having
no
trouble
disc
keeping
graphs,
track.
No dynamic disc in there.
No.
He's sponsored by all three
Oh,
manufacturers.
she's on her way.
Big-
She's on her way. All three. Yeah, first
All three of the
player,
big ones.
first person ever sponsored by all the big
Exactly.
five.
They're like, we have to have her. Just
As
compromise at
as
every
a
turn.
beginner.
Team disc golf, baby. Hashtag team disc golf. So yeah, congratulations on all your new sponsorships. That's awesome news.
I'm excited.
Should be.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to a nicer and more motivated and inspiring person.
Speaking of motivation,
What?
your QR codes are awesome.
Yeah, and this is definitely something that we'll be talking about tonight. Ruthie made up these awesome QR code signs that are going up at local courses.
With Jamie coming up with the idea.
Jamie's idea. There's a reason he's on the podcast, other than just being our homie. But he's also the QR code, because I remember we were talking about this not long ago.
Yes.
And we were both like, what about like a QR code? And I was like, yeah, that would be a great idea. And then you said, I don't know how to make them. I was like, yeah, I don't either. We can probably find out though. And the next thing I knew, you were posting on Facebook with a picture of these QR code signs up at the courses. And when you scan these QR codes, your phone takes you directly to musiccitydiscgolf.com, the membership form. So you can get information about joining the local club, which that is just such an ingenious idea. Wow, 4 years I was running this club and I never thought of that. The one
And they're on
thing
everything.
I never thought of.
How do you
Well,
make
you
those?
know what?
Oh,
It's because COVID,
Sure.
like when you go to a restaurant, you know, they don't want people touching all these menus.
Yeah, I did it at Las
So-
Palmas.
Yeah, so it's great. You just use your phone and don't have to touch a menu. So
Yep.
I feel like that's, you know, like we've been saying, COVID has been a great thing for
Disc golf.
disc golf in a way. And I guess QR codes is
I like it.
another way.
But
Yeah,
wish
I
that
mean,
had
all you gotta
stopped.
do is like take a picture with your phone, and it just like pops up with a little email address. You just click on the link, and it just sends you straight to like the information that
So you like
provided.
plug in a link and it creates that for you, like online.
You don't even have to like take a picture. You know, you just put your phone up to it, and
And it
it
just
just
does-
seriously it'll like pop up like a little link right above it, and just answer your question. There's like a couple websites you can go to, just like turn into QR code makers, and you know, I had one for a little while, and I was just got tired of paying for it and wasn't getting any use out of it. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, amazing idea.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's a great,
idea.
great technological
We should just
innovation.
blast that. So like, there's QR cards of the podcast everywhere. So just when people hit it, they're like, "What the hell is
Oh,
this?" It's just a mystery QR code, and it takes you to the podcast.
Maybe we can have like a QR code book. You know, you go to Oaks and just
Well,
open
you know,
the book.
Just open the book.
Interesting you say that, Jay. I think I know a QR code guy.
Good thing we got that hook up nowadays.
Yeah. So in addition to QR codes, Jamie, you have been playing disc golf for a long, long time, yes?
Yeah, since 96.
Closer to your mic a little bit
Whoa.
for me, buddy.
96.
You can pull
yeah.
it. You can pull it closer to you.
Pull it. I'm scared to break.
We
it.
found
No,
the-
just grab a
we
hold
found
of
the
the
cord.
boom.
Boom.
Is that the
boom.
cord?
There you go.
There you
All right.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, started in 96 playing in Mobile with my cousin and my uncle. And,
The Weinekers.
Yeah. And then off and on for years. Of course, when it gets cold outside, I tend to go in. And then got serious again about it probably 2005. Wanted to make a run to being a pro or playing in events, and hurt myself pretty bad, so dropped off. And then fast forward some years later, met Ruth. We were looking for some sort of activity that we could both do to get exercise together. She liked softball, and I liked riding bikes and just hiking and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, let's try disc golf. And she absolutely hated it.
Yeah. I've heard the
Hated
stories
it.
of her first initial
It was
reactions.
bad. Yeah.
Don't ever take me here again.
Right. I felt like I was torturing her.
Might have been the first couple times.
But now she's beating me every other.
It's never gotten to that point with my wife because it's very, very clear from the outset that she's not playing more than 9 holes. And if the bugs are biting, we're not playing.
Yeah.
And there better be a bathroom that's not nasty
That-
or we're not going.
That was a big
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Ooh, finding a place like that on a disc golf course.
Yep.
I remember one of the very first times that it was right when I had first started playing, and I was going out and playing with Taylor Kaysen at Crockett Park quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I got her to go out there with me. I was like, man, I met this guy. He's really cool. We should go out and play with him. She's like, okay. And so we went out there, and we got like 3-4 holes in, and this crazy pop-up thunderstorm came through, and she just got horrifically drenched, and then she already had to pee, and she was already talking about I got to find a bathroom, and then it popped down with this crazy thunderstorm, and she was like, "I'll meet you at the car. I'll be waiting at the car." So she went to the car, and like I played like 2 more holes with Taylor. Like, I probably should go.
Well, hopefully the soccer thing.
I think
was
she's only
open.
been out with me like 2 or 3 times after that in the last 7 years.
Crockett's got a really nice bathroom if you get to the soccer facility.
Oh yeah, if you go into the soccer place.
If it's open, you're good.
Yeah.
If it's not, you're kind of you got grass.
So you hurt yourself in 2005. What'd you do?
I was just trying to throw too hard. Sidearm, trying to use my whole arm instead of mechanics. And yeah, just everything lit
Jay, would you
up.
pull that mic a little closer to Jamie's face?
Oh, am I still?
You just
Well,
drifting
it's-
away.
It's
As long
kind
as you
of a
don't
little
touch the
bit-
cable, it should
Yeah.
be okay. You don't have to sit uncomfortably. Just make sure just pull the mic to you.
Like, I can't see you guys.
You get comfortable. We'll adjust the mic.
There we go.
Oh, no.
Jay and his cancer hands breaks everything, messes it all up. There we go. That should make you a little bit more even to your mic.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as I get my phone, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get on Amazon and fix that.
Hey, you don't worry about that. We're gonna get us a couple mic stands, I think.
Then we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
So did you just like tendon issue, or you couldn't play for a while?
Yeah, I couldn't play for a while. So I was working at Jersey Mike's, and
Push that mic a little closer to him, Jay. Just don't touch the
touch the
cable.
cord.
You can grab the boom. You can
grab the metal.
grab the
you grab this
boom,
thing.
and
Oh, gently.
Rocket. Oh, you're good.
You're good. You can
Pull
just pull it close to, sit comfortably, and then just pull the mic to where it's just like right in front of where your face is going to be. You can grab the top and pull it to you.
Yeah.
Just grab it. And with that,
but yeah, so I'd
Everybody use your hands.
worked on a slicer all day long. So, 8 hours
Oh,
of
yeah.
slicing meat, and then trying to go play 2 or 3 rounds after work with most of the guys from the shop at the time. I think we would race to get off work at 3 o'clock and try to make it to the course by 4 so we could have 45 minutes daylight to get 9 in. And there was like 6 of us. So it was just run to your place, grab and throw, run and grab. So, you're not really practicing at that point. But yeah, I hurt my arm pretty bad.
Dang.
Yeah.
did you have to do some rehab, or is it just some relaxed time for
Relaxed
surgery?
time, ice and compression for a long time. And I would definitely say it's not where it was back in 2005.
It didn't heal exactly how doctors would describe it should heal, but
Like
it's,
that kid
it's,
in
it's-
Rookie?
It's
I was
good.
trying to bring that up too. You beat me to it. The rookie. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, could you imagine him with like a disc in his hand doing that?
Oh. There's a movie.
Oh,
Dude, another $1 million idea. We're just throwing
Right
them out into the ether on this podcast. And
Holler at Disney.
it's going to be about 5 years, and then we're going to start seeing all the stuff that we've just randomly talked crap about on the podcast. It'll pop up, and somebody's making like $150,000 off of it or something. Not,
Ouch.
I almost said $1 million, but it's disc golf.
The Rookie 2 Disc Golf Edition.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, there was.
We had Air Bud.
There's gonna be Air
There's
Bud.
a disc golf movie being made.
there, like,
Dave
20 of
Montine.
those?
Really?
Yeah. Rusco funded some of it. Dave Montine is playing the lead character in it. This filmmaker is making it down in Florida, and it's about a kid and his adopted father coming into a relationship over, like, bonding over disc golf.
His adopted father or the kid's adopted?
The kid's adopted
Okay.
by the father, so his adopted.
I just thought maybe he walked up to a random stranger and was like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna adopt you. You're gonna be my dad."
Got it.
I mean, Florida things work different there. You never know.
That only works in
Third
Arkansas.
Oh,
Third cousin,
Did you hear me?
17th removed.
Hey, you hear me?
probably true. Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's where it happens.
Whoopee. That's right. All right. So you guys mentioned that Ruthie was not having it at first.
No,
so
not at all.
How did that change? When did it finally? When did the seed begin to take root, Ruthie?
well, Music City opened 2019. The Weinekers and a couple of friends came to Nashville stayed at our house, and I think mostly I did, shuttled them to all the courses, Cane Ridge, Cedar Hill, and so forth. Ravenwood. I was like, what?
You and a lot of people had
Yeah.
that same reaction. It's funny you mention that.
But I had no idea that it was organized sport with tournaments and competition. And I don't know why it hooked me, but I started from there. Started playing Cane Ridge and just wherever we could play, and we went to the Nashville Disc Golf Store, talked to Sean, and it just
I'm excited.
Lit you on fire.
Yeah, next
know, right?
thing you know,
Sounds
we
good,
have a
right?
spare bedroom with over 400 frisbees.
Yeah. And Jamie's over here like, excellent.
It's all part of the plan.
Well, it's cool that like the MCO you bring up was something that did it to you. Or was it just the fact that you saw something structured and competitive, or did you not, I guess, encompass the actual size of everything?
I don't know in particular, but it just because I just thought it was some
Something?
leisurely thing that you just
Go out in the woods
go
and
out
drink.
there.
Yeah. We have that reputation.
I mean, I know, but that's just what I thought. I thought, okay, there, But then when I found out, when I saw MCO, I was like, oh, okay, it's a whole different story. I mean, I actually walked with them. Like when I would come and pick them up, I'd get there a little bit earlier. You don't really know what time
Sure.
it ends, so I would get there. They'd still be playing, so I'd locate them and walk a hole or two with them, and it was I don't know, it just grabbed me. That's all I can't really
I guess it's all that way. I'm pretty sure we all feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, that's it was always, I always knew of it. I always knew of disc golf. I played disc sports most of my life, and was into throwing frisbee a lot as a kid, and all of that stuff. And then it was, I think, 2012. Flew back to Arizona to be with a friend when his mom passed, and all he wanted to do was play disc golf. And that was the first time somebody had suggested it, and I wasn't like, that sounds stupid. So for
You were trapped in that situation.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Anything you want, bud.
I played one round, and somebody was like, hey, what'd you think of it? How'd you like it? And I was like, it was all right. It was fun. I had a good time. And then did that for 3-4 days in a row, and it was like the first time I threw it and it did what I wanted. I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing this forever.
Yeah, it's that one shot that brings
Chasing
you
the
back.
dragon.
Yeah.
Yep. So
track him.
and everybody has that aha moment,
Yeah.
you know.
That's true.
And then it happens again when you find your little role that you're going to, how you're going to fit into the workings of the whole thing. And it's always cool to watch that happen for people.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ruthie, you and Marcus, you guys joined the board of directors for the club this year. And,
Pound it.
that's a lofty undertaking, and it's very noble pursuit. It's a big give back to the community, but it also opens a lot of doors and kind of creates a pathway for you to get to these new and crazy experiences and these memories that you're going to carry with you for your whole life. And it's you're just at that point where the roller coaster is like slowly getting to the top, and you're looking over the edge, and it's all downhill from here. It's gonna be, but it's cool, and you're already you're taken to it like a duck to water. And that was you caught my attention right away, because it wasn't just that you picked up disc golf and got excited about it. You were showing up at everything. We would go out to community events to raise awareness and stuff and introduce people to disc golf, and you were there. We were at tournaments. You were there early, asking how can I help, and you were just immediately just plugging yourself in, and that was really admirable. And already, I mean, you've been just a little over a year, like less than a year and a half, and you're already holding a board position and working your butt off.
Took me 8 years.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Well, she started off. I mean, when you jump into it, she never just jumped into it as an athlete. She jumped into it as, I'm going to be an ambassador for this regardless.
It's a lifestyle thing.
And, and I see with the softball on the dynamic disc, because I was like that with basketball and again with competition paintball for years. And so I understand what it means to like still be influenced by something else, but find another passion kind of within the outdoor, within the sporting community. You're still always looking for that. What is up with that?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's
Jamie.
Is it me?
Well, you got.
Well, it's that
Unfortunately,
cable.
you've got the cable that's not very good.
either that or it's you bumping up against the bottom of your mic. But
I'm not bumping the bottom of the mic.
That was me that time.
yeah, I think
It
that's,
only appears. To
I think
be
that's the
so.
cable on Jamie's mic.
Yeah.
We've got a plan to have that fixed.
We've got 3 extra cables over here. So,
Did we? I thought we bought.
we did, but
3.
we got.
But
that
we
means
had
got,
3 other ones
That means we have 3 extras.
that
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
that weren't popping.
Right.
I wonder if he's got those in yet. Lance, coming to see you.
So anyway, we might want to go ahead and take a quick break and deal with that cable.
Okay. But I'll be back.
No, it wasn't a real break. It was a pretend break.
Yeah.
It was like a psych break.
It's like I walked out to the car, smoked half a cigarette, and then
But now,
made it
So
back.
should the people
Jamie's
that don't
mic
smoke
isn't
cigarettes
popping.
get that same break?
I think
Hey,
so.
Jay.
Yeah,
What,
they
like-
should definitely have a break.
take a
Yes.
look at the TV
Like,
and tell me what you don't
Cigarette
see.
break. Oh,
He just floats.
Right back on in there. That's the great thing about that chair, that futuristic space station
Got
mob
off-road
boss
wheels.
chair.
It's got the ATV wheels on it.
Yeah, all terrain, baby. It's got that posi track.
You gotta have it with the textured carpet in here. It's very fancy.
Can we ride that down the stairs?
Cummins diesel.
We could try. We could try.
I have to open the door.
Oh,
V
Marcus.
twin, bro.
there's literally a street. What?
Can we just sled right down the stairs, out the front door, and down the
Oh,
street?
we could.
I feel like a Home Alone moment coming on.
Woo,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's going to be
There are
fun.
definitely 2 vehicles in the way.
Marcus's dad eyes went,
move
wait
the
a second.
It is snowing. It is snowing in Nashville tonight, so
If
that's
you
pretty.
call it snowing.
I mean, is
as
it
best
for
we get.
Nashville? Yeah.
The
We had
question
a-
is it snow if it doesn't stick?
No.
Yes, it's snow.
It's
coming out of
snow, but
It's
it's...
called precipitation, I believe.
Is that question of the week?
No,
Is it snow?
it does
Snow
not
is snow
qualify.
is snow,
It's
but
not up to snuff.
it's just not, yeah, up to...
Whatever happened to that stuff? The old snuff. Just while we're on the rant.
Well, I remember growing up, I thought snuff was like the Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no.
But then apparently they had a thing. It was like powdered
Powdered
dried tobacco, and people
yeah.
used to snoot it.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't do it.
That
Don't do it.
sounds
Young kids who are
terrible.
listening right now, do
No.
not do it.
I would never do that.
It's terrible. They used to, back in the day when Walgreens sold tobacco products.
I've done a lot of stupid things.
They had snuff, and it was right next to the beech nut bite off
Oh, yeah.
plugs. Where you just turn your mouth like oil. But we got a little jar of the old snuff one time, and one snuff is all I've ever had.
It's like fire.
Yeah,
in your
pretty
brain.
much. Yeah, pretty much. Terrible. Yeah, and it's tobacco you snort, but it is not worth it, my friend.
Oh, my God.
Well, I
So
remember.
confused right now.
Well, I remember
What
like
just happened?
that my buddy got maced one night. He
Well,
All right.
well, funny
Well,
story.
it leads right into it, right?
He tried to steal a bottle of liquor from a grocery store, and I went to jail to get him out of jail. But the security guard, in the process of him being detained and the police coming and all that stuff,
Yeah.
the security guard at the store had maced him, and so he had all this orange stuff still the next day when I picked him up, but. He said it was like I could taste tobacco and I could smell tobacco the whole time, and apparently tobacco is in mace, but it has like a very like a spice
Cayenne.
to it. Yeah. Apparently,
well, it's funny you say that because nicotine, the actual tobacco, the nicotine in it is used as a pesticide in gardening in a lot of places.
the more you know.
I thought that was like
And the rainbow goes across the sky.
Would you guys like to know what a lux is?
We've covered this.
Marcus's face.
That episode.
That'll be in the blooper reel. Can you tell me what a Lux is? I can tell you.
Yes.
Because I've worked in retail.
Well, that's not even where I picked that up, but well,
I
that's,
know
that's
that
another
was,
story.
We got into that because I said, "Well, do you know that from?" No, and I know it because of this, and then we don't need to go into.
Yeah,
that again.
it's tales from the dark
Let me
periods.
tell you what a Lux is, kids.
College. Anyway, back to disc golf. We have Ruthie here and her wonderful husband.
Yeah. So we mentioned Ruthie's new sponsors: Flying Colors, Throw Pink, Wicked Aces, and of course we mentioned that you're on the board of directors for the club, big club here in Nashville.
Big deal.
And the season for the club hasn't even started yet, but you've already got some stuff coming up, do you not?
Yes.
Lay it on us.
The one thing that you kind of threw together pretty dang quickly, and I've been trying to help you. I don't know exactly where you're at with it or how it's developing, but this clinic at the softball fields at Two Rivers on January 16th.
This Saturday, yes, at 11 a.m. And we're going to get together, have the clinic. So far, what I'm seeing is people that have never played signing up. So that'll be great.
Good.
And they can learn some putting, some backhand, some forehand.
Now this is a clinic geared for beginners, right? Like this is an introductory disc golf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because I know there's for example, Christmas and lots of Christmas starter packs were given out. And because I realized that, I was thinking, there's a lot of people probably at the course, and that's a lot of new people, but that's also a lot of possibility for hazard and people getting hurt. You know, somebody not knowing the etiquette, which is another topic that we're going to go over in the clinic. Just some basic etiquette so that disc golfers don't get hurt and innocent people, bystanders at the park don't get hurt. And I feel like if they learn some new skills and learn the etiquette, like it's going to help retain them. It's not just going to be a Christmas gift and then 2 months later, you know, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Well, you're onto something there because etiquette is second most of the time when you learn disc golf. It's never on the forefront. And so, like you do, as a person who plays disc golf, you get a little aggravated with sometimes with people who don't have etiquette. I mean, and it's not their fault, but like you said, it's something that's not really thought about. And I think that's a really interesting really interesting that you would think about that, especially around Christmas with the starter packs. Because when you said that, I was like, well, there's a thought that might have crossed my mind at one point in time. But like, it's true. Like all these people, and with the growth of disc golf, I can't imagine how many people got brand new disc or brand new starter packs, and that's a big deal because I mean, walking on a ball golf course, if you don't know some etiquette, you might get yelled at.
You're gonna get cussed out.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things. If you know some etiquette, it might help you retain just a little bit more knowledge, and that might, you know, click something in you that makes you kind of push forward with that.
Right.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think that there's a huge value in doing these really introductory clinics because a lot of times when you see a clinic, the most widespread use of a clinic is attached to a tournament, like a big tournament, and while you have some pros in town, you'll let them put on an event and maybe make some money, and the folks can get a lesson from a touring pro. But most of the time you're dealing with people that are already playing a tournament. They're already advanced to that level in their disc golf career where they're playing competitively. So it's not, they're coming to learn specific things. It's like, what can I do in this specific step in my reach back? What can I do in this? Where, a person that's fresh off the street is going to listen to that and be like, what? I have no idea what they're talking. What's a hyzer? So
I still don't know.
But so having an introductory clinic where you can just focus on the basics, but also stuff that needs to be more pushed out into the forefront when people are getting into the sport, like etiquette. And we had Holly on not long ago, and the videos that she's been putting out covering things like etiquette in different areas as far as interacting on the course with other people, packing in, packing out, taking out your trash, doing things like that. I love seeing people use their platform to encourage that kind of thing, because it seems like the default that what we always fall into is somebody's doing it out of ignorance. Nobody's ever kind of explained to them, hey, this is our philosophy, this is part of our lifestyle, this is part of our culture, is we take care of this. We want this place to be better when we leave it than it was when we showed up. And that's really unfortunate that it's not something that's more actively demonstrated to people that are just new coming into the sport. And then you see people like Holly that post these etiquette videos and stuff like that, and they get ripped apart in the comments on Facebook. And so it's, everybody's so confrontational, and it's almost like, do you really prefer to just wait until you see somebody drop something next to a trash can and then somebody blows up on them, and then now we've got this big situation where we could have just told these people when they first started playing and showing up at the course, hey, just so you guys know, it's a friendly thing. Hey,
how many of those would it stop? How many of those little small, I'm aggravated, I'm gonna snap on you issues would it resolve?
Well, no.
A ton of them.
I mean, it would resolve a lot of the littering issues if more people understood that it was a part of the culture that we don't litter on our disc golf courses. I think that would would definitely. People are looking to have that snap and go climbing up and down somebody.
Here's another one
for anything.
And I'm just going to throw this out there because this happened to me at the beginning. I took my dog all the time. Her using the restroom at the course. I didn't see it. Seven Oaks, everybody knows if your dog's behaved, nobody really cares if it's on a leash. But my dog used the bathroom, and I'll drop his name because I respect him a lot, but Mr. Kearns lit me up. And it was well deserved because apparently she did it right there in the middle of the fairway.
He's one that he doesn't mince words.
No. But to this day, I mean, it brought
shout out to Steve Kearns.
Yeah, I mean, it brought me and Steve a lot closer because it brought a respect too. But at the same time, it was like if I'd have just thought about that or just
right.
A little bit of etiquette, a little bit of knowledge up front. Like, hey, it's cool for your dog to be off a leash. It's not cool for you to not watch her while you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of that could have gone a long way, and it would have saved me the embarrassment in front of my friends of Steve coming unglued on me on hole 6. Or it would have never happened had I just a little bit of knowledge. So it's a very good thing to know, and it could, like you said, resolve a lot of those small little issues that can create. One little thing for some people is all it takes for them never to come back.
How would you feel if your disc landed in some dog poop?
Oh, yeah.
I can't talk about that.
It's very unfortunate. It's highly unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But I mean, it's the same thing with getting hit by a disc or something like that.
It's definitely not the same.
Well, it's on the same line as
because I have
the
played
respect for the course.
I have played at Birdie Ridge, and so you're gonna get poop on your discs.
Yes.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I have also been hit by a disc.
You know what's worse?
For a minute there, it seems like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
What's worse than poop on a disc, and this is no joke, when we play GBO, a lot of those fields get burned, and then it rains. So that mud turns into like clay, but it's black. And when your disc hits it, dude, I'm telling you, you can spend an entire towel just trying to get like
it's like one of those greasy poops, like you eat Mexican the night before, and then you just keep like it just never goes,
Okay.
it never stops.
That took off, but I just was saying it's very, very hard mud to get off of your disc.
Yeah, I was watching some comedian was talking about
Captain Visual over here.
that. Yeah, it was just like the different kinds of poops.
There are many of those.
No, it was a guy on the internet. He was talking about like women want to know why we're in the bathroom so long. One of 3 things is happening. That was one of the 3 things. It just won't stop.
All right.
So at this clinic, are you leading?
Thanks for the
Reel it back in.
association.
I got one.
There
I did all 3 of them.
I believe you said Two Rivers. There are some wonderful bathrooms at Two Rivers, just so everybody knows.
You can take as long greasy as a poop
Oh,
as you want.
God.
Why do
You
you
can
have
use
to
all the
bring
toilet
bathroom back
paper.
up, Jay?
It's all
You're
free.
gonna want to bring
And as
your
long
own
as you're not a
TP.
guy, you're fine at those bathrooms. Anyway, so who's throwing this little clinic on here? Are you leading this, or is there anybody else gonna join you?
I've got my band of helpers. So Robert Zavala,
Shout out to Big
Brittany
Z.
Barnett,
Oh, nice.
Full flight. Is that right?
And Team Innova.
Team Innova,
Oh, awesome.
but I'm not sure about Full Flight.
I think so.
I think her relative, husband, boyfriend.
No, you're
something?
thinking of Caitlin Yelvington.
Okay. I just saw her with them while she was in town, and she
Yeah,
was. Yeah. Anyway.
Uh-oh. I'm forgetting.
On the spot.
Oh, no.
Sarah, maybe? No?
No, Sarah's not available.
Well, the reason why I asked is I'm thinking about bringing out Ashley and the young one. Yes. But Ashley's lefty. And
Oh,
that's
Harper Thomas.
Harper
Thompson.
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 Dope.
Well, that's definitely a good person to teach you.
Rounding out the card.
But going lefty, that's a tough one. Like, I even struggle to try to teach Ashley lefty because I'm like, just do what I do, but in reverse. And then
So
apparently
Ashley
to
is
left-handed
lefty?
people, that doesn't work. Yeah, she's left.
Ah.
Yeah. So, well, I'm just
But then
curious
there's
about
lefties that throw only right.
You're a lefty? That only throwing right? You know what pisses me off is the right-handed people who throw left. And you're like, what, like Philip Belknap. And he's like, I'll just throw a left-handed hyzer here instead of a sidearm.
Yeah, ever since he learned how to throw with both hands, he's been a lot more
Hole
annoying.
5. Yeah. He's like, let me just throw this. I'm just going to throw it left. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Well, sidearm for. Well, I mean, just make it simple. Just throw it with the other hand. No big deal.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So, he's
It
got
doesn't
it
work
down.
that way, bro.
Not for us guys.
I'd be
those
happy to
dudes.
just be able to sidearm. Shit.
But I was curious who you had coming out and doing that clinic with you.
And I still feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but yes.
But, and this is, and we talked a little bit about this off the air. I think it's important to delineate if it's a beginner clinic, like an introductory clinic, or a pro clinic. What are you doing with your face over there, Skinner? Oh, I know. Isn't it great?
It was peeled apart.
He was parting the fro C.
I can see myself.
But with an introductory clinic, really anybody that knows and understands disc golf can teach the basics. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So whereas if you were having a pro clinic attached to a tournament or something like that, those people want to see somebody that they know is much better than them at disc golf. That's what's going to light their fires.
Yeah, well, I like to focus on the introductory part because there's so many beginners nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and with the club, as
This
big
year
as
is
it's
just,
grown,
man,
there's
crazy.
a lot of beginners, and so like getting some of that knowledge and maybe some of those basics. I think of it as like, okay, these guys might sign up for novice for the bag tags, and then if you've got beginners playing novice, like just even for the socialization of it, you're talking about slowed down rounds. You're talking about just different things that like etiquette in the long run could just speed that up, no matter their skill level.
Right.
It just speeds play up a little bit more. And so I like the fact that you're.
I mean, the
focused on
faster you play, the more rounds you can play in one day.
that. Sure.
Oh, God.
There you go. And when you boil it down to that, it all seems so simple.
It does. It does. Speaking of boiling,
Why are you boiling?
Coffee?
I'm ready for that break, bro. I'm
Drink
burning
some
up.
ice water.
Oh no, the COVID finally made its way into the Sapphire Lounge.
No,
He's got
no.
a fever.
I've been on
Get
home
the
house arrest for a long time.
Get the thermostat.
Scope him. Somebody scope him. Somebody squirt him
Give me
with
the
this
give me
stuff.
the ortho.
Give him a thermostat. Yeah.
Where is it?
Right there.
It's right there beside you on the
Power side of the.
Let me slide around here. I'm going to go
Oh.
off frame.
Will
pointing right
can't
at it.
see it with his eyes. He's using.
I cannot see it with my eyes. I must see it with my soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those things
Does it make
run
a sound?
2 degrees hot
97.2.
and 2 degrees cold.
Woo!
As I said, it's just hot in this room.
Yeah.
And just in general.
Okay.
Put that bottle of water on
It's
the back
interesting.
of your neck.
And how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel hot.
A little bothered.
A little.
Moist.
Sounds like you're a little low.
Oh, God.
Whoa, whoa.
I took it there.
And it's
I
time
heard
for
the
a break.
preacher say that once.
We can't. The whole show can't be breaks, you guys.
No.
But why not?
What is your moving forward from the clinic? Moving forward on this,
I see
you
you
said
trying
you
to
had,
creep out of the frame there, Jay.
I won't get my COVID on nobody.
97.2.
He said you had a couple of things working. Is there anything else like just planned for you coming up besides the clinic?
March 6th.
Yes. Saturday, March 6th. Woodbury. Is that how you say it?
Woodbury.
Tennis-
That is the way we say it now.
Flying Colors and I, with Kim and Ed Birdie, are having the Tennessee Women's Disc Golf Championship.
I'm snapping that, dude. That's awesome. Is that a
In-
first of its kind in
Yes.
Tennessee?
For women only. Yes.
That's awesome.
Inspired by when I've played all these. In 2020, I played 3 women's tournaments and
Stay on your mic for me there, Ruthie.
Oh, in 2020, I learned a lot of.
You can pull
I
it
played.
to you. You don't have to.
Okay. In 2020, I played 3 women's tournaments and really enjoyed them so much that I was, of course, observing and taking my experience and making those contacts and connections with those TDs. And I'm taking what I learned and saw and experienced and
making a musical. Just kidding.
y'all don't want to hear me sing.
What I learned and I saw.
Born to hand jive.
This is Shrek. What musical is this? This is-
But the first one I went to was Alabama Women's Disc Golf Championship. Then I went to Sparkle Open with ladies first. And then I went to Atlanta Gals Fall Frenzy. And yeah, I mean,
What are you
Just
looking
learned
at
so
turnout
much.
there? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm just curious what turnout is
for
at
the
those
women's.
Yeah, like
for
what
the Tennessee
average?
women's. I
Well,
mean,
no, for all 3. I'm just curious, like what,
Oh.
like you said you're in different states for all those, so I'm just curious, kind of what the turnouts were like.
well, I know. I think Jenny had like anywhere between 7. So Sparkle Open had somewhere between 70 and 78.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And then Ben Swam in Alabama had he had announced that he had 20 the year before. So he said he doubled the number, so he had about 40.
That's still solid. Yeah.
Right.
and he's been running events for a long,
Yeah, Ben,
long
knows,
while.
Ben knows his stuff.
And now he has a store.
Yeah, shout out to Ben and Chris.
Oh, awesome.
Chris Pierce from Eat Sleep
Yeah,
Disc.
yeah.
Him and Ben co-own Dynamic Disc Iron City.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
They
That
just
is
Yeah.
had their grand opening on New Year's
And
Day.
they had a line out the door.
Busy all day. It was great to
That's
see. They did like a
great-
stop
great to
motion
hear.
video of the whole day
yeah.
and people bustling all through the store and
that's
stuff.
cool.
Is great. And it's really interesting. I mean, it was kind of a twofold, like double-edged sword kind of thing that I noticed because one, that disc golf community in Birmingham and the surrounding area is super strong.
Yes.
And there, people down there are on fire for disc golf, and they needed a pro shop. I mean, Chris has largely carried most of the retailing for that area through Eat Sleep Disc for years, but he's never had a brick and mortar. It was always something that him and Jeff were trying to work towards, and that was always a goal for the outlet. But now it's almost perfect. Him and Ben and Ben and Chris have been friends for a long time, so. Chris is also, a really good tournament director and has been involved in that side of things for a long time. But now with Dynamic Disc behind it, they've got really, really good distributional background. Chris has his mobile tournament directing out. That can be supplementing the store. It's just a great setup. And the community, and I noticed and I haven't seen the building or anything, so I don't know 100%, but in some of the pictures I've seen of the outside, it's kind of like a smaller place that you could easily miss. So with that kind of a setup, you're really depending on the word of mouth and on the disc golf community to show up and support the business. Obviously they say in any kind of business, location, and it looked like that wasn't exactly a location that was going to be drawing a lot of eyes off the street. But I mean, that community, it really looked like they are already showing out for that store, and it's great because it's such a need that it's being filled there, and they're showing support of it in turn.
Well, it takes that community to make something local like that, especially. And you hate to say the word. I hate using the word niche with disc golf, but it's still. Let's be real. It's still pretty kind of nichey. But when you have a business like that, brick and mortar with a niche sport, it takes a local community to keep it thriving and
Oh,
keep
yeah.
it going, and hope and with those guys, Chris and those just with Eat Sleep Disc, they're going to keep it doing the same thing they've been doing, which is going to keep money flowing into the brick and mortar, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a powerhouse, a dynamic duo, if you will. But yeah, Ben and Chris, to see those guys really coming together in that kind of a way, that's huge for disc golf in Birmingham and in Alabama.
Absolutely,
For sure.
absolutely. So now, seeing that your wife and her wonderful, goals and lofty things she's working towards, how have you been doing? What are you doing with disc golf?
Stressed out.
All I do is
I don't
QR codes now.
Yeah, I'm like,
do
no,
that.
I am basically a secretary and go-getter.
Hey, that's
Which
good.
is great.
Somebody like her needs a go-getter.
Yeah, and I dial her back in.
Calm her down when she comes home throwing shit and
Yeah,
cussing
'cause
and
that happens a lot.
oh, I know.
Well, I'm curious to see where
She's mean.
what the difference has been when before the embrace and then after the embrace. Like for
Don't-
you
It's about the
particularly.
same.
I'll get you and my wife talking so you can get some advice from her
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the last 4 years.
That would probably be pretty good. Yeah.
He's your disc golf wife
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for he disc.
or disc golf widow. That's what my wife calls herself, a disc golf widow.
No, the house has definitely changed. We're up to like 12:30, 1 o'clock now doing disc golf stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
But just in general, the change has been good for you.
No, the change has been great. It's fun. It's just,
And
Yeah,
hey, you
he's the one losing weight.
you accomplished your
bit.
goal of both doing an athletic thing together,
right.
which is kind of what y'all started out to do.
Man, I
Did you expect it to come this far?
No, not at all. No, never would have
But
thought.
I think we know that I have.
Stay on that mic, Ruthie.
I think we know that I have the tendency to,
Go overboard.
yeah,
Jump
like
in with both feet.
yes, like
That's not a bad tendency.
It's not.
with softball it was 5 nights a week, and I would be like, hey, do you need somebody? Hey, do you need somebody? Just so I could get out there and play. And then I would say when I worked with kids, I was like, okay, the kids need this activity to do and this craft to do, and I would bring it home, and I would be like always planning for what activities the kids.
I would be in the garage building some sort of yard.
Let me tell you,
game.
friend, I found the garage recently, and it's a savior. It is a wonderful place. You just go out there by yourself and build. That's nice.
I've got a bar
Just
out. in mine.
hammering a piece of wood. What are you doing? I'm building.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh boy, yeah.
So, tell me this. So, obviously, Ed and Kim, Birdie. Shout out to the Birdies. We love you guys. Who Kim was going to be with us tonight, but
No.
we'll have her and Ed on
We snap Kim and Ed Birdie on a regular.
on the regs. But yeah, they're local. Obviously, they're fixtures in our disc golf community. So, how did it come about with you? How did you get introduced to Jenny and Valerie with Throw Pink and Wicked Aces, respectively? How did that come about?
We ran the. Or did you know them before that?
So with Valerie, because I have family in Atlanta, I was there playing casually. I was making connections with Peggy Attaway, Sierra Buford, and Valerie was at the Fall Frenzy as a vendor, and she also played. I met her briefly because she was busy, but I think it's just making that. I traveled there to Atlanta a lot, and connected with her.
Okay. So you met her at an event.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I take it by that like that. You'll have like a more of a very friendship as well.
Yeah, well, to me, it's important in finding disc golf. I want to definitely promote it and support for women and juniors, And then the other side of that is to see people more like me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is gender, that is skin color, that is, even age.
What are you like, 21, 22?
I am 43.
Dang!
I just had my birthday
I was
in
trying
December.
to
I
be
know,
real
I know,
nice.
I know. No, I mean, a lot of people, even in playing these women's tournaments, when they found out my age, they were
When I found out,
They
I was
were
blown away.
surprised.
Straight blown away.
they're like, what? I do get that reaction where people don't believe me. They want to see my ID. But
you don't look it. You wear it well.
I forgot what I was.
Talk about your relationship and meeting with you promote it for the juniors and the women, but you wanted to see more people like yourself out there on the course.
Right. And so with Valerie, that I know I built that connection with her, and I do want to support her and her business, but it's primarily her being African American and being a woman,
Yeah, for sure.
therefore being a disc golfer.
Yes, Jay, you
I
know
did
who we're
not-
talking about. Valerie Williams. Yes.
Ding!
Yep.
I'm a bit terrible.
Where's
with
the
names.
light bulb?
It's over Jay's head right now.
Well, when you see people on Facebook and you
Yeah.
just don't associate a lot of
Right.
times,
Right.
and a lot of times when you see people on Facebook who do different things, especially women who are involved in the sport, you don't always necessarily know what part of the country they're located in, and so I didn't know if she was close or if not.
Fuller,
I just knew.
Georgia.
I just knew that she commented a lot on our stuff, and so I assumed she was close. But it's nice to now know that there's actually a person-to-person connection between us and her.
Yeah, I've followed Valerie for a while. I mean, when you're promoting and running tournaments and stuff like that at a certain level, you start to develop kind of like a network of communication with other people that are promoting and doing and running events and stuff like that, and you just get to like using social media as an avenue to establish a dialogue with those people, because you never know when, say, a Drew Gibson shows up in Nashville and you help him put up an event or something and he's heading through Georgia and he's like, you know anybody in Savannah? Oh, well, maybe just so happens I know of Valerie Williams who is running this stuff and she's doing these events. And so I've watched her as Wicked Aces has become a thing. And what is the name of her store? I can't remember. Specialty Sports, I think is what the name of it is, or something like that. But yeah, so she's run a store she's a disc golf retailer, and that's how things had started. And then she also has been running events. She has a podcast now, the Wicked Ace of Disc Golf Podcast.
Yes.
For you podcast fans out there, I would encourage you to check that one out. Wicked Aces. Valerie is super cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously that's what we're trying to push for, is having more people of color and women in positions of influence within the sport. And just, it's inspirational to watch her, like, because she's just kicking ass. She's just, her business is growing like crazy.
She had Crosswinds. I think it's called Crosswinds Open, a tournament that's on a ball golf course, I'm pretty sure. And it was open for 7 minutes. And, I'm forgetting the number, but it filled up in 7 minutes.
Wow.
It was either 70 or 90. I can't remember the number that it filled up at.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Those are good
incredible.
numbers.
Yes.
The financials look solid. They look sound.
Yeah, the whole team was like, yeah.
It's been really crazy to hear about her snake bite.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
Valerie's been dealing with the last several months. She got bit by a copperhead on the disc golf course, on a course that's known to have copperheads.
Yes.
And the locals there have been duking it out with the copperheads for quite some time. But yeah, she reached down for her disc, didn't even know that it was there. Got a hold of her. Thankfully, it wasn't her throwing hand, but right here on her thumb. And even at this point, she's got like, you would call it almost atrophy, but it's the nerve damage is so intense that she can just barely move her thumb.
Yeah.
And God, just to imagine to lose the full use of one of your thumbs.
Yeah.
That's like crippling.
Yeah.
that's a handicap. Oh, see what I did there? It's a handicap.
What course is that actually?
I'm gone, guys. I can't deal with this.
Is Tommy something or other, something like that?
I I don't know.
It's named after a person.
Well,
It's got a people name.
It's funny that you mentioned, I mean, copperheads and bites, because one, they're one of those species of snakes that is very, very common to find.
Yeah.
And two, they're one of those snakes that if you get bit by 9 out of 10 times, you're going to survive. But their venom is so potent on the skin, it literally eats through if you don't know, it literally eats through your tissue, all your living tissue, and then all the dead tissue becomes neuropathy. Oh, we had a girl in Arkansas who got bit in the foot as a kindergartner.
Yeah.
And they didn't expect her to walk again. She ended up being a college cheerleader, ended up pushing through all that. But it was one of those things, when you saw pictures of that thing, I mean, she got bit on the foot, and it was, her entire leg was black. Like, just because of all the dead skin and all the tissue that it creates. So it's like one of those bites that's like, you're probably not going to die, but would you... You're weighing it. You're like, depending on where you get bit at, like, man, that could be a really, really big thing. And you're talking about a thumb, like, that is detrimental to most of life. I mean, like, that's pretty tough.
And apparently the terrain in this particular area just is
Breeds some.
Really rocky.
significantly favorable to copperheads.
That's unfortunate.
But they're out there in droves. But yeah,
Lyme disease, copperheads. What else we got?
it's just crazy to
Yeah.
see somebody lose the use of their hand because of that, and and then it's almost like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should feel guilty for saying thank God it wasn't her throwing hand, but like I feel like she probably said thank God it wasn't my
I
throwing
know if it
hand.
was me, I'd be saying the same.
But hopefully Valerie makes a full recovery in her
She's
thumb.
doing well.
Yeah,
How long ago that was?
it's been like 6 months,
Approximately,
something
yeah.
like it was summer, I think, when she got bit. But yeah, so people are paying attention. Valerie, keep up the good work. Shout out, golf snaps to Valerie Williams.
yeah.
This is the one thing you can definitely listen to her podcast. She has a podcast voice. She's very positive and light and upbeat, and she's got a nice tone. So if you like our show and you like laughing at idiots and you like all that stuff about our show, but you just hate the sound of our voices or my voice, then Wicked Aces Disc Golf Podcast is the jam for you.
And so we've been trying to fix that. We've been getting all sorts of upgrades, trying to make it better.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't fix ugly voices.
See, we got some new...
No, not him. No. Out of everybody on the podcast, I'm sure it's the same for both of these guys. But
What's up?
when you're
What you
listening to the
trying to say, bro?
podcast,
What
when
you
you're
trying to say?
listening back,
Yeah.
the only person's voice I hate is my own.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And you're
yeah.
listening to it and you're like, oh my God, I sound like that.
Yeah. Every time I hear myself through a mic, I'm
Been
like,
there.
I sound like that.
Yeah, the worst part is like, one, I have to deal with my own like self-hate of my voice, but then also anything that happens like visually or audio-wise with the show when people are watching it, that's on me too. So like I get to like listen to my annoying voice and sit there and go, oh God, cringing at everything I say. But then I'm watching, it's got 2 episodes ago listed on the episode number, and it's got, Jay Smells in the scrolling text or something like that, and I'm like, I did that too. Yeah, it's rough, man. You got to be really into like self-deprecation and
Well, on top of it, you're listening to
Punishment.
all the things you hate that you wish you did on the podcast. Like use the word like or yeah. So the whole time you're listening to it, like I can't even
Or
enjoy
Jay-
an episode sometimes.
Jay do it like he's
I've gotten better.
Freddie Mercury with his little stubby mic arm.
He was like, Jay, you've got to work on touching your mic. He was like, you don't realize it, but every time you touch it, you can hear it.
He rides it. He rides it like he's like Eminem in a battle. He's like he's holding on to it like, yeah,
It's my security blanket, bro.
that's my binky.
It's only once a week with this baby. Gotta make sure she's right.
But yeah,
right.
Valerie, if you're watching, I do have you on my short list to be on the show. So I'm hoping that's one of the people I'd like to have on the podcast.
Hook us up, Ruthie.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're our bridge to Terabithia or Savannah,
Whoa.
Georgia. So that's awesome. Let's go ahead and take Jay's break, so he can.
I like how he smoothly played that off on me.
so he can lose a layer and calm down.
Yes.
his skin's leaking over there. He's starting. To,
I'm starting to perspire.
Get my hair back
shiny.
together.
I'm not glowing yet, but glistening.
Wow.
Mark,
Over the
Marcus
top.
is starting to have like a flock of seagulls thing.
Oh my God.
Look at that body.
Oh, wait! I want to solo it. Do
That's
it again.
Herbaliscence.
Do it again,
I'm
Brad.
gonna
Oh,
wash
yeah.
that
yeah.
Can you
man
slow-mo
right
that?
out of my.
Slow-mo that shit. Bring it back.
Provide that sound effect. Yes.
Bring it back.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know.
After these messages, Well, of
Well,
course.
hopefully he won't have any dogs to
did.
get spayed or neutered.
Red button alert.
What?
What?
Go.
Just letting you know. Sometimes, I mean, you never know what can come out when you.
We just sometimes animals have to be emergency spayed and neutered, emergency wise.
Hey
Really?
Jay, who's not on the TV?
Oh my god.
Tighten up.
Tighten
Tighten
up,
up, bro.
Tighten up, bro.
Didn't they lose?
Act like you've done this before,
Jeez.
Too soon.
How long have we been doing this
I'm
podcast?
too soon.
dude. I'm just
They lost.
man. Let's not talk about that.
All right, all right.
I have not seen the Titans play that bad in a couple of years.
And who won? Cleveland?
No,
Oh.
Aren't they the
Ouch.
color of?
Brown? Yeah. Cleveland Browns.
well, they didn't beat the Titans.
No, they're actually named after a guy whose last name was Brown.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, Titans have 2 good players and a good quarterback. They have a running back. They have a wide receiver, but they don't have a good tight end.
Yeah,
And they don't have like a little speedy little guy that can like, you got to have like a speedy guy.
Sure.
Like what was the Kansas City Chiefs have? What's his name? Hill, like fastest guy in the league, right? And who did Tom Brady have forever? That little speedy guy.
white dude. I know
there
you're
you go.
talking
Yeah, I
know
mean,
you're
we don't
talking
have one of those. All we had was Davis
about.
and
Where'd
Henry.
they all go?
Oh, they did their job.
Oh, I
In the
mean-
first quarter, you see that he's like
Yeah.
throwing his number 11. He's handing it off to Henry. And then after that, they're like, "Hey, are you guys gonna do anything more?" Okay, well, we got
Yeah, we got you covered.
you.
Well,
You
we
know.
beat them twice already, and so it's like by the third time. If you hadn't figured this out,
Right.
so
So I think that's what we're gonna do next year. We're definitely gonna have to like pick up a good tight end, and maybe like one wide receiver that's like he can dump it off to and get like 40
you
yards.
think
maybe trying to get, like,
Tannehill's
10.
golden? You think? My
Speaking
first
of
year, I
team
thought it was
sports-
lucky.
It's a
Well,
building year in
he's
Nashville.
Signed. He's signed. So
Yeah, I know
you
he's
know,
signed, but
he's-
I mean, I just felt like his first year was like, okay, maybe it's a product of him falling in the right system. But then this
Right.
year he did well too, and so I'm like, maybe Tannehill got a bad rap in Miami. Maybe it was, not the system for him. I guess, as
You know-
they say, system quarterback sometimes.
system quarterback. You
Speaking
gotta
of
like your
team
P.
sports.
All right. Yes.
Yay, sports ball.
I'm really interested in
Mike,
the team.
you're real quiet.
Okay.
Make sure you're talking into the right side.
Okay.
Okay.
I got
There
you.
we go. There we go. Mike. Jeez.
Oh, the
Yeah,
The logo.
logo.
Amateur
Hello,
hour
logo.
at the Sapphire Lounge.
It's only your second
That's
time.
right. I'm
I
an
mean,
amateur and proud of it.
And
Logo.
loud now.
Professional
Find the
am.
logo.
Well, so loud all of a sudden. Funny how that works.
Well, if you want me to get loud, I can get louder.
That's the Music City way.
Spiking.
Clipping.
See, now I forgot because I'm old and I forgot.
Speaking
Talking
of
about team
teams.
sports.
I am interested. That's something I would like to do is a team disc golf tournament
Yeah.
like Andrew Lamont did, which I did hear that he has left the building.
What?
Oh, is he no longer around?
Yeah.
No longer with us?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Thanks for saying bye, Andrew.
I-
Sheesh.
Well, don't blame him. You don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
we don't
gosh.
know what happened.
Guy just comes over and does his podcast, and then you never see him again.
It's funny that you bring up the team sports aspect of disc golf because it's a individual sport, but it is really, really, really fun and really cool to play a team style sport or team style game or format rather.
Ambassador Cup.
Yeah, Ambassador Cup.
They had a lot of fun.
Which is playing a 4-man scramble. Like if you had 8 guys and you just throwing a 4-man scramble together
Squirrel.
for fun for skins, a quarter a hole even. That's a blast. And so, what is your thought process like where you see the team aspect of it?
I mean, I've only done doubles. Like, we're doing Tennessee
Ooh.
doubles.
Tennessee
end
State
of-
Dubs,
Yeah, the end of
February.
yes.
Yep.
So I've only done doubles, but I was thinking more. Just when I mentioned it, I was thinking of the larger team.
Yeah.
I don't know how many. Like
A
I
4-man.
4-man or more.
Okay. How many was Ambassador? 4?
It was
4-man,
4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Battle of Music City was 7-man teams.
Oh. Okay.
That was Angela Mont.
Yeah, and these are events that happen in different places around the country. They do like club challenge events where clubs throughout the state will come together or compete in a series throughout the year in different places. And there's all sorts of different ways that you can do it. And ever since that event happened and we had Andrew on the show, we've said, I don't know how many episodes it's come up, and we've been like, man, it'd be really cool to see more alternate format team team type events.
Sure.
And yeah, that'd be great to see some more of that. It was always one of those things, and one of the reasons why I'm happily retired. But it was like, you've got so much to do with the daily operations of the club and planning 30 plus events, and all these cool ideas and opportunities always keep popping up and presenting themselves. And it's just, you've got to constantly be pushing that stuff to the back burner. Like, I just don't have the time to.
Well, on top of it, you're talking about is if anything goes and it runs for a year or two and somebody can't run anymore, it's like it falls to the club first, it seems. Like, unless they have somebody specifically that they want to run it, it kind of falls to the club and that decision process of whether or not to, like, do we take this on as a club, do we not? And that's a hard thing to do, like when Will's talking about running 30 events a year. So that, like you said, a lot of that stuff, because it's not per se sanctioned or on the top of the list, it gets pushed to the back. But I think there's a niche in our sport that we may be missing on with the team aspect, where we might be missing a lot of guys who maybe don't normally do tournaments, but are all about doing something like in a team aspect of it.
And that's the kind of cool stuff that you can do if you invest in some sort of a collaborative atmosphere with the other clubs in your area or state. And
Sure.
I think that's something that a lot of states, the majority of states and regions, are probably lacking, because you see the areas that have that kind of cohesion, they've got that cool stuff. Like because that was Andrew's whole inspiration, was they do the club challenge in Virginia,
Right.
and that he was used to playing that, and that was the vision that he had for it here, was let's do something like that here. And it's a great idea. And now that I got a little more time on my hands, it might some of that stuff might actually start happening, because I've been talking to people in Memphis and
I was going to say
Chattanooga
Bud
and other places, about doing something actively to kind of jump back and forth between
That would be awesome.
spots.
Sure.
Get together with the distant fam a little bit
Absolutely.
more regularly. We
It
can't.
really is-
Philip Belknap can't be the only one driving 3.5 hours every weekend
I
to play a
drive.
tournament. Yeah, I know.
You are definitely a traveler, Ruthie. I commend you highly. I'm like, and that was when I first joined the board, everybody's like, your disc golf playing will go down. And I'm like, no, it won't. Totally, it did for me. And so it's awesome that you are still out and about every weekend, and you're putting videos out, and the content too. That's, man, the content with social media and YouTube nowadays. I mean, Music City is as big as it is, and in part, definitely not to take away from anything that people have done, but in part it's because of the social aspect of it. Like, it's a very big
Yeah.
influence when we go to board meetings. Like, who's handling social? Are we making sure that stuff is posted? And Will and I, forever, when we first started really getting into the social part, we'd like argue, like, are you gonna make the post? Are you gonna make I don't want to do it, bro. And it's like, and it's not hard. It's just one of those things. It's like, I'm tired.
Well,
I
and then
don't
it
want to
was,
go make a post now.
and then with most things with the club, it became obsessive to me, because it was like, if I wasn't the one that made the post and
You're
somebody else made it, I would read it and pick it apart and then hit them up and be like, hey, well, you didn't say this, or this, and you worded this weird, and you needed to put this like this. And so after you do that for about 6 months, you just end up being the person that makes the post. And so when you never end up having that conversation, like, who's making the post? Because everybody just like, okay, so you're going to make the post? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll make the post. I already made the post.
it's
So
like-
there.
This year, it's like Ruthie, Z, Hoy, and then like
I feel like
just everybody. And
I
it's like,
wonder-
it's wonderful.
I wonder every day if anybody's noticed that I've just like ghosted off of Facebook since I stopped, since I got off the club. Because like
It's great, right?
I keep looking in my camera roll and like seeing all these posts that I meant to make over the last month and a half, 2 months, as I've been winding my way back, and I'm like, oh man, I got to make those today. Nah. And I've always told people when we get into the subject of Facebook, I'm like, man, if it wasn't for disc golf, I wouldn't even mess with it. But that's just where disc golf lives. And but I always wondered, it was always like, am I really just blowing smoke? Would I really dip out of Facebook if I didn't have to run tournaments? And then like, sure enough, dude, I dipped the hell off of Facebook for a minute.
Well, it's like, what's there to entice? What's there to bring you back all the time?
Right.
When you're not constantly doing it. I feel the same way.
But it was also like, for me, I took that time, like once the season was wrapping up and there wasn't any kind of day-to-day stuff to do, and I knew that Dr. Hoy was transitioning in, I washed my hands, man, and I was like, I'm going to just shut down for like a month and a half, 2 months, and just not think about it. And it was perfectly timed with the holidays. I got a little time off of work, and so now I can start getting my wheels turning towards productive, cool ideas again, and actually being in a place where I'm enjoying that process, whereas it was getting to the point where I was pretty burnt out about it.
Yeah. Well, Marcus, I was gonna ask you night and day difference. Would you say with Will and his break?
Oh, from Vic. Oh yeah.
Definitely night and day difference, and in a wonderful, great way. And not to say that you were by any means in a bad spot before, but it's a different side of you. It's like that little bit of twinkle in your eye, like
Aw.
you found your Peter Pan again.
You found your happy thought.
I only say that because I
Wow.
watched Hook this weekend with the kids.
I was about to say, man.
Robin
Goodness.
Williams.
Happy thought.
Where's the glitter?
Jay wants to show his age.
We need a glitter button, dude. We need a glitter or a string that you can pull.
Boy,
Sprinkle some on
I
top
never,
of the
Okay.
can.
I never realized until you just said that, Marcus, that like naming off
Maybe-
movies now at our age
Yeah,
is
there
a
you go.
bad
Uh-huh.
idea.
Yeah.
Aging
You ever
yourself.
seen Sinbad before?
Oh, yes.
I'm showing my age, okay? Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. They're like, who?
I want to invent a whole sponsorship sign that every time the card comes to the T-pad, it shoots confetti.
And you got Lyndon Lance there with a microphone.
That guy on a microphone is ridiculous.
All snaps. Shout out to Lyndon Lance.
Well, let's get back to this confetti idea.
And thanks for the, and
Marcus,
thanks to Lyndon and Bandwagon Music and Supply for our new mic cables that makes us.
Whee!
do that.
Shout out.
And now we had a decent one to put on to Jamie's messed up one.
Absolutely.
So if you guys got through the first 20 minutes of the show,
Well, as soon as
It's like his mic was beatboxing.
yeah, as soon as he gets those the ones in from stock, apparently like COVID has like massively hurt distribution and
Oh,
and
logistics are
manufacturing, like,
effed.
everything.
Yes.
So he was like, I ordered like 8 and I got 3. And he was like, so I'm hoping for the other ones soon. And I was like, as soon as you get them, let us know and we'll come by and pick them up. But it's been that way with like even talking to Justin down at the store, and you guys know, like
Yeah.
to get something, like you're happy if you get a quarter of your order,
Right.
like nowadays.
yeah.
And in a sense, that stinks. But in a sense, when have we ever heard about that in disc golf? Like where you're like, oh, I can't get my whole order. Like
Right.
normally, it's like, when do you need it? Do you need it next week? Like, you're good. You need it.
Well, you know it's bad when like we order stuff from Dynamic Disc, man. And now that we talked about our annoying habits and saying the word like every time I say like, I'm like
Gotcha.
you
Dynamic disc.
you go. I can't.
What are you talking about? Ordering from Dynamic disc?
Yeah, you know it's bad when because Dynamic Disc, as I've often said, is very very good to us and has been
100%.
since we picked
You see what had happened was
Like, use the word like, it'll fix everything.
in 2017 we got sponsored by the Dynamics Discs.
There you go. You had like a Bill Cosby thing going on right there.
Hey,
whoa
That's
All right.
the Jello instant pudding.
I'm showing my age, okay?
We're going. Whoa,
talking about,
run
like,
that back. We need to hit
the
the
TV
right
show.
Anybody like to know how Jello was made?
Anyheiser, what I had said was Dynamic Disc has always been very good to us, and our whatever the terms of our sponsorship on any given year at any given time have been, we have found ourselves in the position numerous times where we have had to ask for things that were pretty big asks.
Yeah.
And it's always been no eyelash batting. Yeah, okay, it's on its way, and that's it. And they've never told us no, never looked at us like we were as crazy as we probably are for asking for some of the things that we have. But you know it's bad. Like that relationship has been that way for so long that like when you order something, they're like, "This is gonna take a little while."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, get it. No more. No, enough said."
Yeah. We just put in, Dr. Hoy and I just put in the stock order from DD for this year's upcoming bag tags. They completely revamped their order form, so no more spreadsheets. It's like you just walk onto a website. This is the quantity. Add it to the cart. It's beautiful.
Cool.
It's awesome. It's really cool. However, you're like, oh, nope. Oh, they got this in this weight class. They got this and this. And I mean, but that's how it is. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it is sold out.
Wow.
And it's like, it stinks because we can't get what we want. But at the same time, it's like I was saying, in our sport, that's every manufacturer. Like, when has that happened? Like,
Yeah.
where it's just like we can't keep up. And so,
I remember mid to late summer, Derek Savory, shout out to Derek, was sending me pictures of the warehouse. I'd never seen the racks that empty. It was just like you could see all the way through racks to the other side of the warehouse. It was nuts. Because, I mean, I've been in the warehouse a couple times now, and it's usually jam-packed with goodies. And it was just, it's scary. And that's every manufacturer.
Yeah.
All of them right now. You look through their warehouse, and it's just bare. Scary.
I'm speaking of manufacturers, and this just what you talking about this is kind of a little bit off base. The junior disc from DD, because I know they came out with those, and just like I said, it kind of came out of nowhere in my brain. Have those taken off, and have those are those kind of like a smaller version of a basketball? Are those going to help?
That's
one
the
of those
idea
things?
behind them.
Sure.
And I wouldn't say that they've taken off, but there are people that appreciate that find the value in it for what it
Okay.
is. And I mean, one, there's all kinds of opportunities there because those are PDGA approved mini discs. You can use those that's the largest diameter you can use as a mini. So you can get some cool stamps on them and stuff like that and use them as a cool mini and hope you have a mini storage options on your bag that will actually hold it.
Hold it.
But no, I mean, it's interesting because they fly so well. I mean, I remember when they first started coming out and then everybody started doing them. Harper Thompson would get a hold of one of those things and throw it like 360, 370 feet. Like, it was nothing. Just rocket the thing out through the field. And I just don't know if it translates in disc golf the way it does in other sports where, I don't know. I feel like it could almost be detrimental to a kid's game to learn technique holding that equipment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then at what point do you tell the kid, okay, well, now you got to use the regular size discs and
good
move,
point.
and you know what I mean? If that seems like one of the things that would be loosely defined, and then everything you've learned is totally changed between the two things. I mean, for maybe a real young kid, but you've got mini baskets and mini discs, and then now you've got junior discs and junior baskets. I will maybe come off as a hater on this. Maybe this is a hot take for the show, but I've never, for me personally, I've never really, other than a novelty, I've never really seen the use in it.
Concept I got behind because
Yeah, yeah.
of coming from a traditional sport where like you start off with a smaller ball because a traditional men's ball is too heavy and too big.
Yeah.
And so, and you but they're set like lines. You're at this age, you move up. You're at this age, you move up. So I get where you're coming from. So the concept in my head when it first came out really registered.
Yeah.
But when we were ordering the other night, I saw those and I was like, it just kind of dinged in my head. I was like, oh man, those are still around. I'm gonna ask Will like how these have done, like what's taken off with them, if they've actually helped or if it's not. I mean, like Ruthie, you work with some juniors a lot of times. Do they throw normal at that age? They throw a normal disc just straight up.
I mean, typically, I think that's what's better because we had Isabel throwing a junior disc, and it was fine for her, but she's a kindergartner. I can't remember, but she had a lot of fun with that. It's actually the junior disc from Ogwood, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Ogween.
Yeah, I mean, like my niece, when she was born, I got them a mini basket and some mini discs. And I see that for like you know what I mean? That's obviously for like a baby, it's going to be an easier thing with a mini disc. But I just don't know. I don't know if it's something that is, I mean, obviously they
Viable.
sell and they're cool, but
You can't flick these, right?
No.
Well, I was
Probably
gonna say,
could.
I saw you pull the
Well, see,
mic back.
that's gonna
Did
be
you have
like-
something to add as far as
That's gonna be like
junior?
it's gonna be the
Trying to get in.
the changeover. When you try to flick these things, that's when you're gonna figure out like, okay, I can't flick this.
Yeah. Well, if you notice the difference in size, though, like that goes from like normal disc to almost like you said that novelty. If
Yeah.
it was a slight bit bigger, but not quite as big, maybe it would have translated a little bit better. And the only reason why I say that is because playing with Harper for so long and as many years as I did, I got to watch him from like 10 to 14 or so. And just to say it, but like when you hit a certain age, like your body develops more, puberty, and his hands got bigger. And Logan said when he played at that age, that was the biggest difference was when he hit puberty, his hands got bigger. And that was what allowed him to put more onto an adult disc. So that's what makes me think maybe something not as small to go to the novelty, but maybe something a little bit larger might have some merit. Just to kind of get that, and maybe you learn technique that way, and then you just learn as you move up. Okay, so now I've got to throw a little bit different angles because of the disc.
Did you savor the times when you were beating Harper?
Dude, I remember the day that Harper beat me for the first time, legitimately. Like,
it's gonna happen over and over again.
I knew it was coming. I knew
Yeah.
it was coming, and now, like,
Yeah.
like I make sure to mention if by chance he
Stratosphere.
has a bad round, then I get him by a stroke. I'm
Oh.
like, hey, buddy, guess what I shot?
The story I always tell about the chains on the links where we got super wet and
Yeah.
miserable. Harper dropped out in that. He was one of the people that dropped out in that first round. And I remember when we got back, me and Major jumped in the Jeep and had all our wet clothes hanging on over the vents in the Jeep and had the heater on full blast, and we're shivering, eating our lunch. And I looked at my phone, and Lauren had texted me and said that Harper had to drop out. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. He's got to be crushed. And I was like, but neither of you guys, because she was super pregnant at the time. I was like, neither of you guys needed to be out there in this, walking around. And then I texted her and said, me and Josh talked about it, and we're going to get Harper something nice for dropping out because it was the only way we were going to beat him.
So true. But like you were saying, yeah, I definitely have
So glad he doesn't play in my division anymore.
definitely have those memories. But I'm glad that he's moved up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Except I'm playing MPO in the bag tags this year. So
This time next year, I'll be playing MP40.
Oh yeah, you're almost there.
Oh yeah.
What? When?
Because I can do it next year. I can't do it this year.
Okay.
Oh
You can
man,
do it.
22.
The year you turn 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's awesome. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm super excited, man.
Me too.
Get to watch a bunch of rollers. You know?
So close I can taste it.
Are you still gonna play some MPO though? Here or there?
I'm just gonna do like Rodney, It's like,
See who's
Feel
there.
it out.
See how it goes.
how about they paying out over here? Just, okay.
Yeah, there's a whole other side of disc golf for you beginners out there. It starts
That's the game
before the
within
round
game.
even
Yep,
begins.
the
I get
game
to
within
start
the
all
game.
Who's
over, bro.
here?
I'm starting all over.
Yeah.
Intermediate Masters Division. Come on,
Oh, yeah.
PDGA.
I get to play with Jody and all these people. I'm like, yay.
Jody's dude. MPO with Jody's still rough.
Yeah.
I mean, boy, crushes.
Yeah, he
Crushes.
How do you think Rodney's gonna feel when I play MP40 with him?
Oh.
I think he'll be play better because he'll be like, all right, Marcus, my buddy's back. Yep. It'll be like if you get carded up with him, you're like, all right, which one of those is winning?
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all gonna be so casual.
I can already
so-
see it. He's gonna see Marcus signing up, and he's gonna be smoking a cigarette, and he's gonna be like, "Oh hell! What you playing old man? You playing old man, bro?
Is there,
Oh hell!
is there a Masters doubles division we can play in?
Oh.
There you go.
Hey, there's
Some more gold coming out of the podcast. Your rendition of Rodney is
hey now.
very spot on.
I've
I
had
don't
time
know.
to
I think
perfect
you
it.
need to
If I
smoke
play-
some more cigarettes.
Right.
It's like the Clamo Barsby. If I just had another cigarette.
I think you got to gargle lava
Oh,
to get the
yes.
Rodney voice. Yeah.
Chew on glass.
Yeah.
So besides the two events coming up, do you have anything else in the bag that you're working on?
That I'm working on? Well,
Once again, March 6th, women's event, Short Mountain, Flying Colors, Ruthie Toothie. Be there, be square.
so far we have 20, and Brittany just messaged me during the break and said she's signed up.
That's awesome.
So
What can we do on the podcast to besides promote it that would help benefit that? I feel like I want to go down there like volunteer like a caddy, like we do
Well-
for the Women's Global. Like any guys go down there for the
that
for the
is
thing
on
and-
my list of things to talk about.
Okay.
Is definitely volunteers will be needed for the specifically the day of. I think we have to hand out players packs and we're providing lunch. Brunswick stew.
Brunswick, bro. I'm there.
And
You had me at Brunswick.
Was it chicken and rice?
chicken
what
and
we
rice,
decided?
and for vegetarians, seitan chorizo chili.
Satan.
No,
Satan, sir.
Satan chili. Is that one of them like ghost reaper
She
chili
said it
peppers?
was- she said it
Only
was
in
for
America you have one
vegetarian.
word pronounced 18 different ways.
I think, yeah, it's me. They're just
Potato,
kinda
potato.
I know, right? You
They're
wanna go
just kinda
bass
going-
hunting?
So true.
going
wanna play your
overboard with
bass?
these chili names these days.
So,
Satan
you, so
chili.
you need volunteers, is what you're saying.
Yes.
For sure.
Volunteers, spotters. I forgot my.
Fans.
Let me check.
Oh, no, that's
confetti.
that is one area
Glitter.
of any disc golf tournament that always is hard to find people for. Is
Well,
your
I already
volunteer
have
base.
several people signed up for.
Let me tell you this, you guys.
Sign me up.
We're talking about a women's event here. This brings to mind when we get to have the Firefly Fling, our installment of the women's global event that Kim and Danielle run, which be looking forward to that in May. But I like to tell the guys, man, show up. Just go out there, be ready to help. If you go to the TD and there's nothing for you to help the staff with, if they've already got all their needs covered, well, go caddy for somebody.
Be quiet while you do it.
Take an opportunity. Understand that this is kind of a rare thing for us to get together on account of the women and give them a day to play, just them. Let's do a little bit of gentlemanly encouraging of the women's community in disc golf and go out there and support the female members of our disc golf family by helping them have more fun. Carry a bag for somebody. I carried a bag and pulled a cart at the WGE one year. So caddy for two people.
Well.
Step into my triangle.
You got the cart. You got a bag on the front, a bag on the back. You got two carts.
Who's the
You're like,
master?
I've got this card. I've got all four of them.
Yep.
Keeping score.
Yep. You can't caddy like me.
Okay.
There should be ratings for that.
They have the caddy games
There
at
really
GBO.
should.
Did you bring that disc with your picture on it?
What?
Oh,
you have
dude,
a disc
I think
with your picture on it.
He might have one
I might have left it in my home.
in your home.
Yeah, I don't have it with me. I took it out of the house. I need to post. That's one of the posts I need to make. I took a picture of me with it wearing my Mulligan Man shirt, and I need to post it. I'll put it up in the break. Everybody can see it.
Nice. Did you find that?
Speaking of that, after we get off here, send me any pictures, video clips, and stuff that I can put into the break, use as a preview video and stuff.
For
The podcast. Hey, we're recording.
Padala, padala, you're like a podcast. What? Where are we?
All right, so I see you've got your list out now. Did you find what you were looking for?
for the
March event.
I don't know
March
what to do with my
6th
hands.
event, but volunteers. The other idea I had for volunteers. Oh, I forgot. There is a gentleman that's going to be videoing the. Videoing? Is that a word?
Video game.
Videographer.
The tournament, but something that I learned at the Alabama tournament is we could just have a couple volunteers in particular holes taking pictures or videoing, even just if they're just using their phone. Because that's always something that, for me in particular, I can't think of doing that when I'm in a tournament.
Yeah, I always come off of a tournament like, I didn't get a group photo. I should have got a group
Right.
photo.
Oh yeah.
And then I will say with COVID, it is harder to do that. Like,
Another
to
good thing.
remember to do
Another
that.
good idea too, though, is just to encourage everybody to take pictures and tell them when you post them, put hashtag whatever,
Yes.
so you can just search the hashtag and find the pictures.
Yes. Carol Ann is already going
And
to
QR codes are also big, I'm told.
Yeah.
Carol Ann is going to help me videotape. We're going to, because there
Feel
will
like Pee Wee
be,
Herman over here. Today's word of the day
Vanna
is
White, bro.
QR code.
QR code.
Scan me now.
Is QR code on the board.
Carol Ann is going to help me. We're going to videotape the holes because a lot of people are coming from, we've got ladies coming from Iowa, Georgia, Kentucky. I'm sure I'm missing.
Tennessee. Think they'll be there from there.
Yeah, they'll be from
Probably
Tennessee.
a couple.
Alabama, Georgia,
Up out Tennessee
Mississippi,
way.
Florida.
But I wanted to videotape a couple of us playing the holes so that the out of town ladies had something to refer to, or
So there's like a couple holes being videos, so you get everybody who's playing.
actually
them?
all. I think we're doing 18, 2 rounds of 18.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
is the tournament, but I was gonna video all 18 holes. I figured I could do 9 on Saturday and 9 on.
Talk to me off the air.
Sunday.
Put
Yeah.
you in touch with a couple drone guys.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Ooh, would that be
drone
Tanner?
footage.
Tanner could do it.
Yeah.
Yep, Tanner and Colin White
Okay.
and Gary Cersei.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
talk.
trying to picture faces.
So,
Big things coming from Ruthie.
big things coming up from Ruthie Toothy.
And the March
Straight
event
ruthless.
is the Tennessee Women's
Disc
Championship.
golf championship.
Disc golf
yeah.
championship.
Tennessee Women's Disc Golf Championships.
And that's 2 days, 2 rounds, or
One day, Saturday, March 6th.
2 rounds on Red Apple.
2 rounds. Blah, blah.
Twiddle round on the Red Apple.
That's
There
my
it is,
favorite of the
right
two.
there. Tennessee Women's Disc Golf Championships, hosted by Ruthie Toothy and Flying Colors.
that is awesome.
March 6th, 2021.
Bring a friend.
Red Apple DGC, Woodbury, Bury, Tennessee.
Be there.
Sunday.
It's Saturday, but
Saturday.
just so we're clear.
We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
I feel like Will's done some XM serious work somewhere.
That's in there. Somebody give me a job. Somebody pay me to do this. I'm giving it away for free. So, any other things on your radar that you would like to get out on the airwaves? Any other thoughts? If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Yellow.
I know.
I mean, come on.
That's my go-to. One of you guys. Fun question. Tip of the week.
Do you bring your own bags to the supermarket, or do you go paper or plastic?
I wish I would bring my own bags, but
Carry things out by hand.
I do like to do that.
It's like just like what doesn't fit in my arms is not going.
We don't need it.
Jamie just ends up going.
Cruise or a train ride?
Ooh, that's good, right
I
there,
would like
Marcus.
to go on a cruise. I've not been on one. I've been
That's
on
where
a
you
train
get the
ride,
vid.
but
COVID boat 2021.
That was like the,
you
Like
could
the
get
Love
COVID
Boat.
on a train as well.
I would think
But I think I would have to say train
Yeah,
because I've had that experience
Yeah.
and I was in Europe and that was awesome.
See, if you're in Europe, the train is the
Oh,
move.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
train is the thing to do in Europe. The trains in America are like you're hanging out on a haystack with a hobo trying to protect your
You're riding in the car carrier.
your silver dollars. Why did everybody get so quiet right at that part? Of the
I don't think
Made me
they're called
feel all
hobo now.
awkward.
I think they're called like
I feel like everybody's stirring.
what do they call them now? Backpackers. That's what the big thing is.
It was a hobo?
Backpacking it like in the 70s.
Nah, those are different, man. That's like if you're a backpacker, that's like you're a classy hobo. That's like being
You're a
that's like the difference
classy
between
hobo.
rich and that's like the difference between weird and eccentric.
your hobo
You
pulls
got to
out
be
his cell
rich
phone.
to be
Right.
eccentric. If you got you got to be rich to be a backpacker. You can't just be thumbing and jumping
Yeah,
on
true.
trains.
Yeah,
It's true. It's very true.
Backpacking. I got everything I own in my backpack.
Like, bro, you need some help? You need a handout? No, bro. He pulls out his iPhone. He's like, I can call. He's like, I'm just doing this for experience.
Is everything you own in a T-shirt tied to the end of a stick? You are not backpacking.
That's very true.
Would you rather ride a dolphin or an elephant?
I don't think people ride dolphins, do they?
I've seen it
kinda-
at Disney.
Hey,
Hang
Isn't
on
that-
the dorsal
you hang
fin
on
Oh,
and
that's
just
They
right.
pull you through the
Okay.
whole thing.
don't
Is that-
use your
is-
nails.
Is
Dude,
that calling?
Well,
is
it
that
used to be
riding a
okay. I
dolphin?
don't
you've
know
never
if
seen
that's
Flipper,
okay
bruh?
They don't ride them. They don't
Flipper.
put a saddle on a
Show
dolphin.
my age,
and
okay? Show my age.
Shoot a
What'd you say
machine
that?
gun
You
up
said,
in the air.
You said a dolphin or an elephant? I don't
Yeah.
see elephants with saddles on them, though, either.
But remember
The
the
fawns did jump a shark.
at the zoo they used to do elephant
The
rides.
fonts?
Hey, hey.
Oh, boy.
We have gone some places this evening.
Oh, God. Just go kick the jukebox for us, okay?
Yeah. Hey.
C21, bro. C21, play it.
Forget it.
No, seriously, damn.
Jukeboxes are awesome. I don't care how old you are. Like, I will still play the jukebox at Waffle House.
Waffle House. Yep, hands down.
It's the only place I know that still has them.
You know what? Waffle House around the corner used to be so ghetto, man. You can see a fight like every night.
There was a
Have you
video.
seen the nicest Waffle House I've ever seen in my life? The new one that they rebuilt on Charlotte?
Dude, let me tell you right now.
Woo,
Here's the thing.
fancy.
Here's the thing about a new Waffle House. It's gonna look old in like 2 months.
It's gonna look like every other Waffle House.
like grease.
The one by my house right around the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
They rebuilt that, but it looks like it's been there for like 30 years, right?
I saw a video on the
God, the
internet
food's so
recently.
good.
There's a dude at Waffle House, and he was like picking like he was picking music on the jukebox, and he was like jamming out, dancing. There was not any music playing.
not a
It was this
thing.
tweaker guy, just like
Is that a TikTok? Is he doing a TikTok?
no. I don't think it was intentional. I think
There-
he was
Okay.
just he had the music in his soul, man. It was
Do you remember the Anthony Bourdain show back in the day? Where he
R.I.P.
would go around.
oh,
different
somebody had
places
put a song on top
in
of
the
it, like
country,
I found the
and,
song.
like,
this
these,
guy
all
was
these really
dancing.
unique, cool restaurants. One of those episodes was straight up where one of his buddies took him to a Waffle House, and he
No
thought
way.
this guy was messing with him, and he was like, when I was there, he was like, I get why Waffle House is still around, like, and why it's here. He was like, but if you don't go at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't get the Waffle House.
Experience.
Not
And
the full
but it's
experience.
so true. I can't tell you how many things I've seen in a Waffle House as an adult where like that's a life choice you don't want to make, young man.
Now, you want to come to Waffle House and leave after you're done. You don't want to have to come here every day and leave when they tell you you can.
Yes, that's incredibly true.
Sometimes you wanna go. Sure.
At Waffle House.
I'm just showing my age, okay? Just
Dude,
showing
that's
my age.
one of the best shows.
Hey, I'm older.
How about, I think it was like
Cheers.
New Year's or something. I was picking up
Barely.
food for me and the wife, and I was walking in, and a dude, he came walking through the parking lot, and he was like, hey, disc golfer. And I was like, I had like a DD hoodie on, and somebody was like, West Coast disc golfers. Like,
You ever get the random
Sweet.
the guy who's like
Wow.
flying up beside you, just wah, wah, on your horn, you're like, hey, hey, look at my bumper stickers.
Oh my.
I got my disc golf bag in the back of it.
Are we in overtime right now?
We definitely in overtime.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Anyway,
Thank you guys for tuning into the show. Ruthie, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for stepping up so I can have a little peace of mind and take a break.
true that.
Thank you guys for coming across town to
Thanks for having
hang
us.
out in the Sapphire Lounge. And excited to see what you do this year. Everybody remember, January 16th, clinic, softball fields at Two Rivers Park. Tell everybody you know that you've been trying to get into disc golf to come out and learn all the basics.
Absolutely.
Totally judgment-free zone.
Yes.
You don't have to throw like a pro. And then March 6th, Woodbury, Tennessee, Short Mountain Distillery, Red Apple Disc Golf Course, Tennessee State Women's Disc Golf Championships.
Of the world.
Win a ship,
Federation.
They got nice bathrooms.
Ferta.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Yeah. They have wonderful bathrooms there.
Yeah.
You'll
Yep.
be
Yeah.
A-okay.
A-okay. And that is all we got for you guys this evening. Like, share, subscribe, rate, review. Catch you on the flip.
Love you guys.
Comment.
Peace.
Yeah, comment too.
Let the bass kick.